Hey, what's going on, you sneezing snivy? We got some new card reveals and some old card reveals at the World Championship that I haven't given my opinion on quite yet, so that's what we're going to be talking about here today. I actually already filmed this once, but then I realized I actually had no idea, despite reading it multiple times, what Oricorio EX did, and the card is way better than I thought it was. So let's get into it. Up first, we got the Charmander for the Charizard line. 80 HP, nimble if the Pokemon has no energy attached to it. Its retreat cost is 0. Pretty good, especially when we want to try and get to like an early Badoo or Cleffa. That's insanely powerful. Live Cold does 20 damage, which does KO Badoo, which is also pretty good. 80 HP though, can't Buddy Poffin for that, but we do still have 70 HP Charmanders in the format up until rotation. So things will get interesting once rotation hits, because not only do we lose our 70 HP Charmanders, but we also lose Nest Ball. So how are we going to find this guy? I don't know. Is 4 Ultra Ball all we're going to have? Who knows? I guess we'll find out. But I think up until rotation, you'll be utilizing Buddy Poffins with 70 HP Charmanders. The 80 HP is kind of cool to play around the Hawlucha Dragapult attacks. So maybe you'll play like a split, like 180 HP, 370 HPs, and some Buddy Poffins. Something like that could be kind of cool. Charmeleon here, 110 HP, pretty tanky. Also steady fire breathing, not bad for a single fire, does 40 damage. Once again, KO stuff like Badoo, which is kind of cool. And then finally, the Mega Charizard EX, 360 HP, Inferno X for 2 fire, 90 damage times the amount of fire energy we discard from our Pokemon. I mean, we could do infinite damage, basically. So we want to KO everything. It only has 1 attack, though. Cards in decks like this usually aren't great. And when I first read everything, in my initial thoughts video, I was like, I don't think this is going to be that great. I think this is going to be a flop. As long as we're hyping it up to be a dub, it would flop. But then I was informed that Oricorio is a little bit better than I thought it was. Up next, we got the Moltres with the Fighting Wings attack for a single fire, and she does 20 damage, KOs Badoo. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, the attack does 90 more damage. So specifically, this is really good up against the Ogrepons. 2-hit KOs, Fighting Mask Ogrepon, which I guess like Charizard specifically doesn't have trouble with, but this can be teched in other decks. You could even play this in Golden Go because you already play Fire Energy, and now you have a way to 2-hit KO the Corner Mask Stone Ogrepon. Also, it 1-hit KOs the Grass Ogrepon. Teal Mask Stone Corner Pond, the grass one. It 1-hit KOs it, which is actually pretty sick. And also with a Brave Bangle, it 1-hit KOs Golden Go. The only drawback of this card, kind of, like that's pretty good options to have, is it's a 1-prize Pokemon that, besides Badoo, can't KO other 1-prize Pokemon. Usually you want your 1-prize Pokemon to sometimes match up against another 1-prize Pokemon, so you're not like KOing a 1-prize Pokemon with a 2-prize Pokemon, and you're not like giving your and feeding your opponent your 2-prize Pokemon. So that's like the only like, I guess, drawback of this card, but besides that, very powerful 1-prize Pokemon here for sure. Up next is the Oricorio EX, which initially I thought accelerated 1 fire energy from your discard pile to one of your bench fire Pokemon. And then I thought it accelerated a single fire energy from your hand to one of your bench fire Pokemon, as long as you have a Mega Evolution Fire Pokemon EX in play. But then I learned it's as often as you like during your turn. If you have any Fire Mega Evolution Pokemon EX in play, you may use this ability, attach a basic Fire Energy card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. So if you have 20 basic Fire Energy in your hand and a single Oricorio in play, you can put them all on your benched Fire Pokemon, as long as you have a Mega Fire Evolution EX Pokemon in play. That is way better than I thought it was. I thought it did a single energy, first from the discard pile, which is better than the hand. And then I thought it was a single energy from the hand, which is worse than the discard pile and still a single energy. So I thought we needed like 2 to 3 Oricorio EX in play at all times, accelerating energy from like turn 1 to continuously take KOs with our Charizard. But nope, we just put a bunch of energy in our hand and then put it all in play and then start 1-hit KOing stuff and have plenty of energy left over to 1-hit KO more stuff after that with our Mega Charizard EX. So yeah, the Oricorio EX, pretty good. Basic Rain Dance Pokemon. For anyone who isn't familiar, Rain Dance is like the original Blastoise that accelerated a bunch of water energy onto your Pokemon. I don't think we've ever had Rain Dance on a basic Pokemon. It's like the first time. Now, there is some conditions. It can only be attached to basic fire Pokemon, and we need a Mega Evolution Pokemon EX in play. So, but yeah, I don't know. It seems pretty good. That's a broken card. I mean, the Charizard's kind of whatever, but this card is kind of insane. Up next, we got the Sneasel here, 70 HP. It does evolve into the Weavile, which I think could be a cool 1-prize deck. The only thing to note about the Sneasel is that we can Buddy Poffin for it. That's it. The Weavile, though, it's got that Claws of Retribution. Now, this is going to be terrible if Dragapult's popular enough. We won't be able to compete. But if Dragapult isn't popular enough, Claws of Retribution, 20 damage, plus 170 more damage if this Pokemon is 70 HP or 50 HP or less, excuse me. We'll talk about that more here in a second, for 2 Dark Energy. So that's 190 damage. That KOs Oricorio. KO Squawk ability. Mew's weak to dark, but it KOs Mew. With a Brave Bangle, we KO Pheasantipity. We KO... Well, Latias is also weak to dark. We KO Ogerpons. I don't know, it's kind of cool. We 2-hit KO Megas. We 2-hit KO Dragapult, but we're probably losing to Dragapult anyways because we have 50 HP or less, so we're getting cooked. 2-hit KO Charizard. 2-hit KO Pidgeot. 2-hit KOing the 2 prize Pokemon is a little bit iffy for sure. 2-hit KOing the 3 prize Pokemon like the Mega Charizard EX, that's a little bit different though. Like that's an okay prize trade. We're okay with that for sure. Monkey Dory also bodies us, so that's not good. So if we don't play up against Monkey Dory or Dragapult, which is like 50% of the metagame, we're probably doing okay. But we have the Toxricity here with that bad upper ability. Once on your turn, you may search your deck for 1 basic dark energy and attach it to one of your bench dark Pokemon. If you do, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. So use this twice to a Weavile or a Sneasel. It takes the damage necessary to leave Weavile with 50 HP or less, which means you're doing 190 damage. And we got like this cool little 1 prize Weavile Toxricity deck going on here, which I think is pretty dope. Will it be good? I don't know. It's also pretty powerful that it accelerates the energy from your deck. I guess discard pile would maybe still be a little bit better, to be honest. But from the deck has its own benefits. Like we play Super Rod, we recover a Weavile line with some energy or play some energy recyclers. Gets the energy back into the deck pretty aggressively. Yeah, I guess the discard pile would still be better, to be honest. But does it from the deck, which in like the early mid game theoretically could be a little bit better. Just like the way the deck flows might be a little bit more consistent because it comes from the deck. Into the late game though is where it would get worse. Like mid game, early game, there's an argument that getting the energy out of the deck is better. And then late game, you wish you had in your discard pile and you're accelerating from your discard pile. But the Toxel is pretty good, 70 HP, Buddy Poffin, and it's got that call for family. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck for a single dark energy. That's super, super strong on one of your setup Pokemon. Then there's this Mega Sharpedo EX, which I don't think is great. Carvana's got the 70 HP, so we can Buddy Poffin for it, of course. And the Mega Sharpedo EX has 330 HP. Greedy Fangs does 70. For a single Dark Energy, draw 2 cards. So that's kind of nice. We're KOing stuff like Dreepies and Charmanders and stuff like that. Unless it's the tanky Charmander with the 80 HP, we're not KOing him. And then the Hungry Jaws for 2 Dark Energy. If this Pokemon already has any damage counters on it, this attack does 150 more damage. You're looking at 270 damage from the Mega Sharpedo EX. That is... It's just not enough. Like, that's... You're not KOing any of the big EXs. You're not KOing any of the big Megas. It's just coming up short. Like, sure, you could play a Maximum Belt, and then you can get 1 big 1-hit KO on, like, a Dragapult. Maybe that's enough to put this over the top. I guess... Man, that could be pretty good. You are building up damage on your own Pokemon. So, like, Mega Sharp... What if you played, like, a... Dude, that's just cringe. Mega Sharpedo EX, Toxricity... Monkey Dory. That's right, folks. It's back. Monkey Dory is all we need. Another Monkey Dory deck. Let's go. All right. I didn't think about that. I'm not going to lie. Mega Sharpedo EX Monkey Dory actually sounds... That's where your damage comes from. Which is kind of cringe because I'm just kind of tired of Monkey Dory. But also, it's kind of cool because it means Mega Sharpedo EX actually could be good. I'm like, when I read this card, I'm just like, you just don't do enough damage. We need more damage. Well, we play Dark Energy. We accelerate the Dark Energy and damage ourselves with the Toxricity. Oh, wait, that's our damage. Get some Monkey Dories in there. All right, never mind. Broken deck. It plays for Monkey Dory. I'm loving it. Heat Burner here. Usually these cards I'm a little bit scared of. The card that I really like this one most to is Field Blower, which is definitely a broken card and should never have been printed. It's kind of too much of a do-it-all card. This is a do-it-all card, but it's definitely a lot more limited, so I'm okay with a card like this. I usually don't think about game design too much, but I think this one's fine. You must discard a basic Fire Energy from your hand in order to play this card. Choose a Pokemon tool, Special Energy, or Stadium card your opponent has in play and discard it. So it is limited to decks that only play basic Fire Energy. It does discard quite a few different things, or can discard quite a few different things. But I think it's actually like a pretty balanced card overall, and I kind of like it. Pretty good card though, the Heat Burner. Definitely gonna be good in Fire decks, but also worth noting you could play this in Golden Go because you can play Fire Energy in Golden Go, so that's kind of cool as well. And then we got the Grimsley's move here. This card is pretty underwhelming, I think. It's cool. I just don't see how this is just better. I don't see how this is better than not just playing Research for turn, basically. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose a dark Pokemon you find there and put it onto your bench. Any dark Pokemon. Stage 1, Stage 2. It'd be pretty sad if you only found a basic. So you like looked at the top 7 and put a Toxel on your bench. And that's kind of the problem with this card. There's no guarantees. I think the card that comes to mind that would probably be most good with would be the Mega Gengar EX. Anyone who's unaware of the Mega Gengar EX, when it's in play, when one of your dark Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon EX, your opponent takes 1 less prize card. This effect doesn't stack. So this card seems cool, but the attack's pretty weak. The card overall is not that strong. So setting this up, you'd probably have to set it up alongside something else that's stronger to then be able to take advantage of the Mega Gengar EX. Or maybe this thing is just so big, 350 HP, Void Gale, 230, you move an energy from this 120 bench Pokemon. Just play Mega Gengar EX with a bunch of Monkey Dories. Dude, it's just kind of sad at a certain point. You're just like, wait, Monkey Dory with this deck. Like, what are we doing here? Come on. So that's like one use for it, I guess, would be like, you could be playing a deck that sets up something else to attack with, and then this is a way to just kind of get your Mega Gengar in place. You can play 4 of this, 4 Mega Gengar, but even then, it doesn't guarantee find your Mega Gengar EX. So I'm not. This card just seems too slow. Like, do you really want to play this for turn, and then maybe hit what you want, or do you just want to play research and draw 7 cards and play a Buddy Poffin and play a Rare Candy and just get set up that way? I'm not sure. This card is weird. The one thing about it is you could play it alongside the baby Pokemon, the Clefas and the Badoos, to kind of either draw more cards with Cleffa or slow down your opponent with the Badoo, which would lead to you being able to like have better turns with this card where it doesn't feel as bad to like not play an Iona or a research for turn. So there's that. But yeah, I'm not sold on Grimsley actually being... I just can't think of a combo that actually like makes sense for it to work with, basically. And finally, we do have the Fire Breather, which this card I thought was terrible until rotation hit. We have Earthen Vessel, we have SER, Superior Energy Retrieval in format, which do what this does, not at the same level, but more aggressively because they're item cards, whereas this is your supporter for turn. But this does find a lot of energy, and when I initially was saying this card was not great, I was under the impression that Oricorio accelerated a single fire energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. This searches your deck for 7 basic fire energy cards and puts them into your hand, which, when you can just immediately dump them all into play with Oricorio, definitely makes this card quite a bit better. But kind of like Grimsley, are we really playing this as a supporter for turn instead of just like playing a research and drawing into Earthen Vessels and Superior Energy Retrievals? I don't think so. Maybe when rotation hits. Once rotation hits, we lose Earthen Vessel, we lose Superior Energy Retrieval. Maybe that's where Fire Breather makes its way into the Charizard deck. But I could see this being good initially in Charizard on release as well. We might not have to wait for rotation for this card to be good, but I'm a little bit suspect. It definitely seems like, if I had to bet, I bet Fire Breather would be played before Grimsley gets played competitively, because I'm just not convinced about this card. Maybe there's some combinations I'm just not thinking about with this card. Maybe some kind of like weird Hydreigon deck. I don't know. I can't really come up with anything, to be honest. It might exist. It might exist. But yeah, I'm actually I'm way more hyped for Sharpedo because, well, like I'm hyped and I'm not hyped because it would just be a Monkey Dory deck, but I'm hyped because it could be viable, I guess, more so than anything. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the new revealed cards. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Did I miss any obvious combos, specifically with Grimsley's move, that you think would actually be good? Not just like a combo. It's like, oh, you could get Impidimp on your bench with it. Well, yeah, but who wants an Impidimp off their Grimsley's move? Let me know. Comment section down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.